Good morning, guys. I wanted to say hi. Sorry I can't be there today, but I wanted to fill you in on what your next project is going to be. As you can see, I have the Google Classroom window pulled up. This is our class. So in our class, you are able to find the assignment that you're going to be working on today and our next class period together. It's called the SIRS Pro-Con Research Project, and in this project, you are going to be researching one issue and both sides of that issue and then making your opinion based off of what you've researched. All the necessary materials are right down here. You can see that you have a template right here that is made for each of you. You also have the notes, which you should have had passed out to you, and all the steps you need to follow in order to complete this project. Also, there is this video that explains the project as well as goes over some information about how to log into SIRS. How to log into SIRS is something I'm going to be going over today, and it can also be found on your research project handout. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to quickly look in at your SIRS research project handout. This is something that you have in front of you, or should have in front of you. I just wanted to highlight a couple things. You can see up here that the project is going to be worth 50 points. So this is something that you're going to want to spend your time on and make sure you do well. You can also see for you guys, the due date for my 1A class or Core 1 class, that's you guys, is September 18th. That is a Friday. If you follow along on your handout, you can see that there are checklists and check boxes to make sure that you're getting everything taken care of. There's reminders on how to sign into SIRS, which is something that we're going to go over in this video, as well as all the different steps that you need to follow in order to complete your project. If you continue on down to the bottom of your handout, you can see that there are lots of different topics that you can choose from. I would recommend starting with these topics right down here before kind of deviating or going off this list. There are a lot of topics on SIRS, and if there's something else that catches your attention that you can't find on this list, talk to Mrs. Beard or talk to Mr. Mayer and see about checking out one of those things. You can also talk to me, email me, or talk to me when I get back. If you follow along, so after you've chosen your topic, you are going to be listing it out here. What question did SIRS list? And I'll show you where to find that, as well as taking notes. You are responsible for finding one article that supports the pro side of your argument and one article that supports the con side of your argument. There are also some requirements down here on the presentation. All of these can be found on our slide template that is on Google Classroom. They're also listed here. I want to highlight here that you must have at least 3 graphics or pictures in your presentation. So make note of that. So this is something that you can reference either your paper copy or the copy on Google Classroom, but also make sure you are going to be turning in this note sheet. Here's a little reminder of that. You will be turning in your notes as a part of your overall project grade. I want to see what kind of notes you're taking down as you read. It's also a handy spot to put down the title of the article, the author, and where they have that article found, and keep track of that here. Your notes do not have to be in complete sentences, but I will expect to see something written down in this part of your paper notes. Okay, so if we go back to Google Classroom, I'm going to show you how to get on to SIRS, which is a periodical index or a collection of articles and newspaper articles, magazine articles. If you click into this slide over here, there'll be a reminder of how to get into it. Also, as a reminder, you can look right here on how to get into SIRS. Sign into SIRS on the Norris website, clicking Resources, Library, SIRS, High School and Middle School, since you're a middle school student, with the username of Norris and Titans. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So if you go to Norris's web page, if you go to the home page, it'll look something like this. You're going to come up here and click Resources. Then after that, you're going to go and click Library, since the library pays for us to use this resource. And you're going to find SIRS on that list. Now you guys are not elementary students, so don't go to this one. You guys are high school or middle school researchers, so you're going to go and click on this. Once you click into this, it should take a little bit to load. Mine logged in immediately because I've already logged in with the password of Norris Titans. Again, the username is Norris, no capitalized. Password is Titans, no capitals. And you can see, once you logged in, you can see that this is going to help you with some of the leading issues. On the left-hand side, this list right here is where I got a lot of those issues that were on your assignment sheet. You can see that there are a lot of different issues. So it could take you a while to look through this. That's why I condensed it down on your assignment sheet. But if you see something else right here that you're interested in, feel free to talk to me, the sub, or Mr. Mayor in order to clear that with us. So let's say you see something. Let's pick, what looks good? Junk food tax. Let's click this one. I want you to make sure you click off this list, because if you just type it in, you won't get this page. So your page should definitely look like this. You have your pro-con issue. Here's where you find your question. Should junk food be taxed to discourage consumption? That is your pro-con question. That's the question you're going to say yes, no, and decide your own opinion on. If you look at your SIRS research project sheet and your notes that you're filling in, it says, what question did SIRS list? You go back to SIRS, it says, should junk food be taxed to discourage consumption? That's the question that you're going to write down. For the pro side, you see 3 different articles that support that yes, taxing junk food will decrease consumption of unhealthy foods and decrease obesity rates. You'll find 3 different articles that you can look at there. For the con side, you'll see no, taxing junk food imposes a nanny state on individuals and punishes those who consume junk foods in moderation. So that says no, we should not have a junk food tax. And you'll find 3 different articles that say no and support the con side. What you need to do, remember, if you look back at your note sheet, you need to pick 1 article for the pro side or the yes side, 1 article for the con side or the no side, and take some notes. So you can look through and say, okay, how does this article look? You can skim it, you can read it, and see what they're saying that supports your side. So if you look up here, we have that it's a newspaper, that it comes from the Calgary Herald, and that it was published on January 21st, 2015. And if you remember, this shows that it's a current article. It's within this year, so we know that it will probably have some good information in it. What I want you to do, remember this information, as well as the title and the author, is going to go right over here. You'd write down the title of the article, the author of the article, and the source. Remember, the source is where you can find it. In this case, it's the Calgary Herald, which we can see up here is from Calgary, Canada, and is a newspaper. If we read through, we could take notes on how this supports that yes, we should definitely have a tax on junk food. So you can read through that. If you go back, you can look at the no sign. Look at any of these 3 articles and do the same thing. Read through the articles. Make sure you're reporting, again, what the title of the article is, the author's name, and the source, and whatever notes you have here. If you want an overview of what your topic is, you can click over here. By clicking this over here, or the at issue, this will give you an overview. This is a good way to see, is this something that I'm interested in, or is this not what I thought it was going to be at all? Okay. For each of your articles, we'll go back and look at the articles. For each of your articles, SIRS makes it really nice and easy. You're going to have to make a bibliography. But if you look down here, they've already created your MLA citation down here. So all you have to do is copy and paste that. Because if we go back to your template, and this is where you're going to be putting all your information once you've taken your notes. I'm kind of just going to skip ahead a little bit, and you can see that down here, the bibliography, you are going to need to list the title, author, and source of the articles that you read to get your information. Your SIRS one, you can simply copy and paste this MLA citation into your SIRS template. So that kind of wraps up where you're using SIRS, looking at it to find information. I want to remind you that when you're at the home SIRS thing, don't just type in your subject or what you're looking up here, junk food tax. Oops. There you go, junk food. Don't just type that in. I want you to make sure that you're choosing off of this list, because then you're choosing from the correct list. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to email me, ask Mr. Mayer, but this should get you started. I will go over a little bit more what the template looks like, but I want you focusing on today finding your topic, filling out your notes, the pro side, the con side. If you get to the point where you finish up both that, you can start transferring in your own words the information to the SIRS template. But I want you focusing mainly on looking at the pro side, the con side, and the issue that you chose. Hope you have a good day.